Hey, welcome back. My name is Dino. This video is some thoughts on the proposed TikTok ban. Some thoughts on what it is, uh, issues that are related to education and youth, and then just more general issues as it progresses. So the TikTok bill was passed by the U.S. House of Representatives. This body voted overwhelmingly in favor of a bill. It was titled the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. Dun, dun, dun. Very tough sounding. This bill was passed in a largely bipartisan vote, garnering both Republican and Democratic Party support. And it was supported by more than 3/4 of the chamber. So it wasn't just, a few people here and there or a simple majority. It was a large majority, which is especially notable in these highly divisive times where that doesn't happen very often. For anyone who knows even the smallest about this app, it's highly engaging, especially for youth, and as a result, it's going to pick the many youth who use it, depending on how this eventually all shakes out. There's a video. I'll try to remember. I always kind of forget to add the link to YouTube below. The video is titled, and you can always Google it or search it through your web browser or on YouTube specifically. The title of the video is "What Will Happen to TikTok if the U.S. bans the app?" And again, this sort of talks about how this bill has passed in the Congress, and next steps and some of the bigger issues that are raised by it. After watching it, maybe think of a couple thoughts that you might have. Here's some of my thoughts about the same video. So say if it happens and the US bans the app, well, one of the things that could happen was it does not technically ban, but it is acquired, at least the TikTok US part is acquired by an American company. What will be, if any, the changing user impact if TikTok becomes US owned? Will it, in fact, in terms of the way that users use the app, will it be any different? There is a good reason to believe, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if it's working well and people like the way it's used, will in fact become not changed at all. So as a result, some of the more profound issues, where people use TikTok, they could, become addicted to it. A number of, mental health issues that seem to revolve around a lot of youth-based apps, whether those improve at all. At least initially, I'm a bit skeptical of those things, or practically the actual use of it will change. Also, as you can tell by the onerous title of the bill, again, the Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act, I wonder if the protection, of American citizens, more specifically privacy protection, if those issues will become in fact solved, or will they remain largely unsolved. For example, if you're a foreign adversary to the U.S., through intermediaries, you could, or if you want to mask who you are, they could purchase largely the same data sets via data brokers who can get this information. So if you're basically getting the same information, is there really going to be any really strong protection of privacy? And then I wonder, this is more of a pedagogical issue, depending on how you pronounce it. What is the future of short duration viral videos for education? I know they are being used in some ways about how to teach concepts in a really sort of tidy, bingeable, viral manner. If TikTok goes away completely, where does this type of information and this type of teaching and pedagogy and sharing of information go? Here's some more general issues about what happens if TikTok is banned in the U.S. What will be the international response to this TikTok law? Will it in fact be reciprocal? Like again, I'd have to think more about the legal issues and do some more research. But I wonder, so say if the U.S. says we ban foreign ownership of an app that's used in the U.S., can the EU say, hey, if the U.S. is doing that, maybe we are going to similarly ban American apps or apps made from other regions other than the European Union? Or think of somewhere like India that's has over 1 billion people, many of whom are online. What if they start doing that? India has been a bit of a black box. They don't. I think like you have to have a VPN to use most North America, U.S. based social media apps. So they've already started doing this. What if that kind of vibe of excluding foreign interests and domestic use, if that sort of cascades throughout the world? Something I'm interested in, just as a purely political issue. So say if this TikTok ban is passed by the Senate, what will Biden's response be in terms of this video is being recorded in March of 2024? Will he in fact sign this into law in 2024 before the November election? The reason I think this, and again, this is sort of one of those things, is it's impossible to prove. I wonder, given that his student debt relief, which was popular among many current students, if that goodwill will be decimated by young people having their TikTok use banned. That would be interesting and kind of a sad thing to happen, that students who, many of whom benefited through student debt relief, that's completely washed away by them not being able to use TikTok. If that happened, that seems like a very social media thing to happen in 2024. Also, this sort of speaks to a broader issue, which is the delayed legal response to tech issues. What I'm more specifically saying is that if there's a tech issue, like there's a problem, unfortunately, legal responses seem to take so long that they become ineffective just because the amount of time passing is so long. And then also on a similar thing is, what are the non-legal expert responses to tech issues? And who I'm specifically talking about is politicians who may not have proper legal backgrounds. So it's like, hey, we have a tech issue with TikTok. What happens when people have no legal background or very little legal background and limited technical background deal with these types of issues? Can they ever do satisfactory responses? Maybe that's the problem, is that it doesn't matter what the issue is dealing with tech. It changes so fast, and the people are somewhat aged, maybe aren't proper assessors of privacy issues, and they're not technically savvy. Can they ever? Is this just like a bad thing where no issues will ever that are in dealing with tech will ever be resolved properly by domestic politicians? We'll see, friends. I'm not super hopeful. That was a discussion of the proposed TikTok ban. My name is Dino. Thanks for watching. What do you think about the general issues that are raised by this potential ban? What about the educational issues? Do you think this congressional bill will eventually pass by the Senate? If so, what will happen? Will there be a domestic U.S. buyer? Will it instead be completely banned? Any thoughts? Please feel free to share them in the comments below. And finally, if you like this type of content, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching. Take care.